We got a lot of shit to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mangs, and I'm making this video talking to you all right now because holy shit, things are blowing up right now. If you've been living under a rock, the ROM, the Japanese ROM for Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia just got leaked online, and this together with a new 3DS emulator is allowing people to play it way before it's supposed to be released. In Japan, the game is supposed to come out in 15 days at the time of this recording, and internationally it's supposed to come out in 44 days, so people have gotten way earlier access to this game than they should. And this is absolutely crazy because we are getting a lot of information right now. People are data mining the shit out of the ROM and pretty much publishing everything that there is to be published about this game. Now, I personally went and watched a live stream of someone playing this game for 4 hours. Not because I'm super curious or anything, but since my channel is centered around Fire Emblem, I kind of feel like it's my job to know as much about the game as possible before launch so I can make videos informing you guys. Now, I would just like to say, this video will not be containing any spoilers, so don't worry, I won't be touching on the story, but I will be talking about the gameplay elements and give my opinions about what I saw. So, I would like to start off by saying that I think this is horrible for Echoes. The fact that this ROM got released, I have no idea, how does that even happen? I mean, someone in Nintendo must be really pissed about now, and I think someone's getting fired over this, because this is terrible for the game. This is absolutely horrendous. Now, why is it horrendous? Some people may be saying, oh, it generates hype. No, this is absolutely terrible. It kills the hype. Because now people are going to play the game. They're going to finish the game. They're going to data mine everything about the game. Every single answer and question is going to be out online. So everyone's going to know everything about the game before it releases. That is absolutely terrible for building hype. And we're not going to have those amazing first few weeks where everyone's new and nobody knows anything and people are discovering new crazy things. So I think this is awful for the game. But also in terms of sales, because now everyone's just going to get an emulator. Now, I don't think this will prevent people from buying the game. I know a lot of people still will, but there's a lot of poor people who don't have a lot of money. A lot of young kids, who, you know, who doesn't work. And normally they would maybe scrape together enough money out of their pockets to get the game, or they would, you know, convince their parents to buy it for them for their birthdays or something. But instead, now they can just download an emulator. So they don't need to buy a physical copy or download it from the eShop, which is awful for the game. And it's gonna show. It's gonna show in the sales. There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to affect the sales of the games. And I mean, obviously, of course it's going to affect the sales of the games. I mean, we haven't really had access to Awakening Our Faith in the same way that we have access to Echoes right now, because there hasn't been a good functioning 3DS emulator. There are some emulators out there, but they're really bad. This new one that just got released, it's really good, and it allows people to play Echoes perfectly on their computers. And yeah, I'm not condemning anyone who downloads the ROM or tries it out for themselves. I mean, the fans are gonna, you know, if a game gets early released, the fans are gonna be all over it. I mean, I am not condemning anyone who does this, but I think it's bad for the game. And I'm worried, because if this affects sales a lot, we may not see more Echoes games. If Echoes sells poorly, if people play this game and they figure out, yeah, I don't want to buy this shit, we are not gonna get a Juke Draw remake. We are not going to get a Tricia 776 remake. We're not going to get a Binding Blade remake. And that makes me very sad. I hope that Echoes sells well despite of this. Hopefully it's going to be a great game. People are going to play it and they're going to love it and they're going to buy a physical copy to support Nintendo. I really hope so. Not that Nintendo needs more money, but still, this game needs to sell well, and I think everyone's aware of this. So I'm going to be talking about what I saw in the stream. I haven't played the game myself. I have been sent ROMs and people have asked me to let's play it. I'm not going to do it because I think Nintendo's going to crack down hard on this, because people are basically playing this game illegally. I do not dare to put illegal content up on my channel. This is my livelihood. This is my work. If Nintendo terminates my channel, I don't know what I'll do. So, you know, I probably won't be able to recover from that. So, yeah, I'm not going to be playing this game on my channel until it comes out, and I'm going to be recording it with my capture card when it does. I'm not going to be playing the emulator. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what I saw in the stream. I'm going to give my opinions on it. Again, we won't be touching on any story spoilers, but I will be talking about gameplay mechanics. And of course we'll be playing some lovely Echoes soundtrack in the background, well, with some generic footage in the background like the ones you are seeing right now, just to give your eyes something to feast upon. But again, this is going to be more of a podcast video, so if you want to minimize it and do other things, that is definitely recommended. There's not going to be much on the screen for you to look at, aside from my lovely bald head. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the live stream and the things that I saw in the live stream and the things that I liked and the things that I did not like. Alright, so the first thing that I need to talk about is, holy shit, the entire game is voice acted. This is absolutely bonkers. Every single line of dialogue, even the support conversations, are fully voice acted in Japanese. This is the first time we have ever seen a Fire Emblem game that is fully voice acted. Awakening and Fates had those little like semi-voice acting where the characters made little sounds to give the impression that they were talking. But this is, by the looks of it, gonna be a completely voice acted game. I hope it's not the early chapters. If it is, I'm going to be very disappointed. Also, if this is just a Japanese thing, oh my god, people are gonna be so pissed. And like, remember the fucking skinship drama? It's gonna be that times 100 if the Japanese game is fully voice acted and the European game is not. So I really hope it's gonna get voice acted. Now, of course, this is amazing for the narrative. This is amazing for storytelling. It's gonna give you so much more immersion. Voice acting is a very important part of a gameplay experience, but it's also crazy expensive. And this worries me because, like, voice actors are very expensive. And having every single line of dialogue voice acted, I have no idea how that's going to impact the story. I know that Gaiden, it doesn't necessarily have a very fleshed out story, but they do seem to have made a lot of updates to it. What I'm afraid of is that since everything is voice acted, are they really going to have the budget to keep everything amazing throughout the entire game? Or is the final part of the game going to be rushed as a result of too much of the budget being spent on early game voice acting? I don't know, but this worries me greatly. I hope it's not going to be the case, because I do love voice acting, but I'm afraid of the negative implications it could have for the game. Also, will we be getting voice acting in the localized version? We don't know yet, but I hope we do, or else people are going to be really pissed. And this time, I will be in full agreement with their anger, and I will not be uploading a video making fun of them. I promise. Maybe. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about how the game feels and how it presents itself. Oh my god, the artwork in this game and the way that it just looks and sounds is so good. I mean, I was just sitting there going, holy shit, this game is beautiful. Like, compared to the stupid cutscenes and the animations of Fates and Awakening, you know, the little 3D characters walking around, it just feels so childlike and so amateurish, if that's even a word. It just feels so stupid compared to Echoes. Echoes presents itself like a visual novel. It switches from anime style scene to gorgeous in-game cinematics, and the dialogue is like, it's so beautifully presented. I have no words to describe how amazing it looks. Now, of course, the characters were all speaking Japanese, so I didn't really understand what they were saying, although I am familiar with the Gaiden story. I have watched both Ray's and Gas Let's Play of it. But from what I see, the dialogue is really good. Like, it's difficult to judge when it's in Japanese, but just based on the way it's presented. I mean, I think it speaks volume when you look at something and you can't even understand the language, but you're still engaged because of the way it's presented, the music, the voice acting, and everything. You just sit there glued to the screen going, and it's just not just because it's a Fire Emblem game. I mean, I have repeatedly made fun of Fire Emblem in the past, both Fates and Awakening, for just having terrible stories, and there's nothing engaging about the cutscenes or anything. The reason why I play Fire Emblem is mostly because of the gameplay experience, but the way that Echoes presented itself, I was glued to the screen, even though I couldn't understand what they were saying. I could, of course, make out certain words, and I understood what was going on, because the characters, they speak with such emotion. Like, one of the villains, he went like, "Nani? Ah!" Like, he was, I don't know, but the villains were so colorful and alive. You kind of understood what was going on without actually needing to understand the language. So I was having a great time, absolutely great time. I was, as I said, glued to the screen. It looks so good. I mean, not just the cutscenes, but the in-game battle scenes are so good. Like, whenever you attack someone with a melee character, the camera pans in and you see the character running. Like, it starts off immediately as the character is running towards the enemy, and then they pull out their sword and they go bang. Like, in Fates Unawakening, when you initiate a battle, you have this little build-up scene where the camera zooms in and you see the paladin riding forward and he goes like, "Whoa!" and he like swings his lance around and then they attack. In Echoes, you don't get that. The camera zooms in and the character is already in full sprint, drawing his weapons and attacking immediately. They are much faster, much more intense and much more dynamic. The characters look like they actually have weight, which is something that I criticized Awakening and Fates a lot for. This criticism actually belongs to Mina. She was the one who came up with it originally. She pointed out the fact that nothing in Fates or Awakening looks like they have weights. Everyone's just jumping around like they're made of Play-Doh. Whereas in Echoes, the animations, when the bandits swing their axe, it's like they really put like a lot of force behind it and they go whoosh. Like the axes actually look heavy, which is amazing. So the visuals of this game, it's the most fantastic thing I've ever seen in a Fire Emblem game. I just had my arm fur, that's what you can call it. The hairs on my arm, not my arm fur. The hairs on my arm were literally standing up as I was watching. That's how much I loved it. So visuals, 10 out of 10. Artwork, 10 out of 10. Music, 10 out of 10. Oh my god. I mean, you can hear the music in the background right now, but oh, absolutely fucking amazing. Like everything about this game visually is as perfect as it could have been, in my opinion. Not only does it follow the original art style of Gaiden, like it looks like it's Gaiden. That's what impresses me the most. It looks like it's a remake of an NES game. You can see that they've taken so much inspiration from Gaiden in this game, and it just shows you how much Nintendo loved Gaiden. Really, they are, I mean, I understand that a lot of veterans praise Gaiden. I personally have given Gaiden a lot of shit, probably because I haven't played it yet. But I gave Gaiden a lot of shit, but so many veterans praise Gaiden up into the skies, and it's so obvious that Nintendo also loves Gaiden. I mean, they wouldn't have made a faithful remake of this caliber if they didn't love Gaiden. And it's really showing. Personally, I think that Fates Unawakening looked ugly as shit. The artist for Fates Unawakening sucked. I don't know the name, but absolutely awful. Whereas the artist for this game, oh my god, I cannot fanboy enough about how pretty this game looks. But let's move on to the next subject. Alright, so this is a big one, and this is something that I got confirmed in the Discord chat. If you don't know, I've created a Discord chat called Echoes Spoilers in my Discord server. You can find a link to that server in the video description. And it's basically a chat where everyone is allowed to post everything about Echoes. You know, I figured I needed a place for people to actually talk about this kind of stuff because I don't want spoilers elsewhere in my channel. And that goes for the comments section too, by the way. Don't be dicks, please. Don't spoil the story for those who haven't played it. But yeah, this got confirmed right now. There is a Lunatic Difficulty. I thought there would just be normal hard. Nope, there's going to be a Lunatic Difficulty, but it will require you to beat hard mode. So you got to beat hard mode, then you get Lunatic. I don't know if there's going to be a Lunatic Plus or anything above that, but I think this is amazing. I think it's good that you're not just allowed to pick the hardest difficulty right away. I'm really a big fan of unlockables, because it adds replayability. And apparently I've asked around how hard is hard mode. It's not that hard. People say it's not that bad, really. I mean, it's difficult to know because the skill of each individual player is so varied. There are some people who are amazing at the game. There's some people who die on Phoenix mode, Fates. It's very difficult when you say how hard is hard mode. You're not really going to get any good answers. But everyone was kind of in agreement when I asked that hard wasn't really that hard. It was like decent. Like, you know, hard mode Birthright maybe. But apparently Lunatic is going to be very difficult from what I understand. I mean, I don't think anyone has actually reached Lunatic yet, but they have started to data mine things, and I did some digging, and Lunatic's going to be pretty interesting, to say the least, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I think that when Echoes comes out, I'll probably be starting my first Let's Play on hard mode. You can grind, so if you are underleveled, you can go and grind, just like in Sacred Stones. So I don't think you can hit a wall like you could with Conquests, for example, in Fates, where there were no grinding except for DLC. So you can always just go back and grind if things get too tough. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this a lot. I love that there's a Lunatic difficulty. I was afraid that it would just be normal and hard. That's not enough. We need more difficulties. I personally think that normal, Lunatic, and hard are not enough. I think we should have 5 to 6 different difficulties because there's such a wide skill difference between the community. And I hope that Lunatic will not just be high stats, so that we'll be forced to just, you know, use cheesy tactics from the start. Like, for example, Awakening Lunatic just... Enemies just had way too high stats, and it was just Frederick Emblem for the first 5 chapters. That's not the difficulty I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that the early game will still be relatively the same, and then it will scale differently. Kind of like in a if you randomize Fire Emblem and you add growth rates to the enemies, that's the kind of difficulty I like, because they don't really start out that much stronger because they're on the same level, and then as they level, they get stronger and stronger. The end game ends up really challenging. That's what I hope they'll do with Lunatic. We'll see if that's what they end up doing. Alright, so we've hyped up Echoes enough. Now, let's get into the criticism. And I do have quite a few criticisms, but I'll start first with the small stuff, the nitpicking that I have, and then I'll move on to one of my big rants, because I do have a big rant coming up. So, stay tuned for that. So, small little details that irked me about this game. The level up screen. It does not look good. It looks so bad, and it feels bad. And when you level up, first of all, I don't like the level up sound. Why can't we have a do-do-do-do-do? What's wrong with the do-do-do-do-do? Like, that's what we always have in Fire Emblem. Why can't we have a do-do-do-do-do? No, we have this weird melody playing that just sounds weird. And it's a small gripe, and we'll probably get used to it. But I just don't understand, why can't we just go with the good old do-do-do-do-do when you level up? The level up screen itself does not look impressive. It doesn't feel like something big just happened. You can say what you want about Fates and Awakening, but god damn it, they did level up screens well. The whole and like the ching 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 felt absolutely amazing to level up. And I feel like Echoes really do not captivate that amazing feeling of leveling up. I don't like how the numbers don't change. You just see the +1 next to them when they level up. I wish I could show you content, but I don't dare to upload pirated footage on my channel. I just can't do it. But yeah, it's a small gripe, but I feel like the level up screen is something that's a very essential part of a Fire Emblem game, because at the end of the day, you play to level up. It's a big part of the experience, and you want the level up screen to feel as amazing as humanly possible. Now, I do like the experience bar going up. That feels great, but I hate the level up animation. Another minor gripe that I have, the critical animations. Didn't like them in Fates. I think I like them even less now. Awakening did crits the best. The crits in Awakening felt amazing and epic. These crits feel awkward. I just don't know how to describe it. It just feels, they don't feel like a big deal. You have this little weird animation, this little flash, and you see the character, and they say something, and they crits, and I just don't like it. The crit look weak, and that is never a good thing. So, but then again, these are just small nitpicky things. They're not really going to impact my enjoyment any way, one way or the other, but it's still things that I feel like commenting. So now I'm going to move into 2 massive rants on what I don't like. And these are going to be pretty big, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so this one is something that I was really concerned about, and when I watched the stream, I was sitting there going, oh no, oh no. Okay, so there's going to be grinding in Echoes, and we knew that. We knew grinding was going to be a big part of it. Grinding was a part of Gaiden. In fact, you were pretty much forced to grind unless you were playing on Elite mode, and, well, okay, so I was watching the stream, and this guy, he was running around in a dungeon. Gotta say though, the dungeon crawling looks great. He was smashing barrels, it kind of looked like Zelda, it was amazing. And of course, whenever you see a skeleton, some spooky music starts playing and you start to hear these noises, like scary noises. And by the looks of it, it's pretty easy to avoid the monsters, because you really hear them coming and they're not particularly fast. So it looks like you can just run away from them if you don't want to fight. I imagine in some like narrow corridors and shit, you'll be forced to fight, but it doesn't look like it's something that it's hard to avoid. But of course, this guy was running into every single monster he saw, because obviously he wanted to grind. And after a while, he turned off his animations, because the grinding fights, they are not exciting in the slightest. I mean, you get your army on one side, you get some zombies and undead on the other side, and there's no map, there's no terrain, at least from what I saw. There's no strategy. You just ram your forces into the other monsters, and it's basically just a stat fest to see who wins. The monsters don't really do all that much damage. They don't really threaten you in any particular way. Your units can easily dispatch of them, but they're pretty tanky and they take quite a few hits to bring down. And it got boring. After the third encounter down in the crypts, I stopped paying attention. I muted the stream and I did something else while I was waiting for him to finish his grind. And this is a big problem that I had with Gaiden. The grinding and random encounters, I do not think that grinding and random encounters should have any part to do with any Fire Emblem game. Fine, if there should be an opportunity to go grind if you want that, although I really enjoyed Conquest's no grinding policy. I actually think that limited resources and limited experience is the way to go. But fine, grinding was part of Gaiden. It's fine that it's part of Echoes, but it's boring, and I think it's gonna bore people a lot. The first couple of times you run into these monsters, it's quite exhilarating, it's quite fun. The third or fourth time, I mean, if I got tired watching it on a stream, how am I gonna feel playing this game? This is not good. So hopefully there's gonna be like a way to auto-resolve the battle or something. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe some, I mean, I know there's a spell that like desummons monsters. I think it's called Dare or something. So there might be ways to deal with these monsters, just make them go away or something. Maybe you can flee. I don't know, but I don't enjoy the grinding aspect. I don't think this is going to be something that people will like. Although, come to think of it, people did like the ability to grind in Sacred Stone, so some people will probably fucking love it. One thing that I don't like about grinding is that you can completely trivialize the game. I don't like people arena boosting in the Game Boy Advance games, because you can just level everyone up and you get a shit ton of money. So maybe, hopefully there's going to be some sort of restriction on how much you can grind. Maybe you stop getting experience after a while or something, but yeah, not a big fan of the grind. We'll see how it plays out, but I did not like it when I watched it on stream. I got bored, and that's never a good thing. Alright, so this is going to be my biggest rant of this video. This is something that I feared from day one when I heard that they had announced Echoes, even before I saw any gameplay related footage. This was my biggest fear, and I am very sad to say that one of my biggest fears have been confirmed regarding this game. They are using Gaiden map design. Not in every single map, but in some of the maps, they are literally copying the map design from Gaiden, and this is awful. Map design was my biggest gripe with Gaiden. It was the reason why I didn't continue my Gaiden Let's Play. Some of the maps are horrendous. They're just giant empty spaces with a tree every now and then. And there's like enemies all on the other side, and I got so demoralized when I saw this guy on stream playing one of the maps, and it was like just a vast open space, a single bridge, and a paladin on the other side. This is classic Gaiden, and this, like, for all the good things Gaiden do, it has some amazing maps and some amazing features. Some of the maps in Gaiden makes me want to kill myself when I look at them, and the fact that they're copying that, oh my god, that made me cry out when I was watching it on stream. Like, why? Why would you copy Gaiden map design? Now, granted, there's a lot of great looking maps in Gaiden. There's some indoor castle maps which are absolutely stellar, some city maps that look amazing, but there are some maps that I look at them and I go, fuck, this looks so boring. God, there's like just fucking grass and a bridge. Wow, how engaging. Good 2017 map design. So I think that Echoes is going to be very hit and miss in its maps. Some maps are going to be so much fun to play, other maps are going to make you want to fucking kill yourself with a rusty spoon. And this makes me really, really worried. I'm not gonna lie, this makes me really worried about the game, because I hope that they're gonna tone down the amount of stupid maps and keep as many amazing maps in as possible, because there's one thing Gaiden was not known for, it was great map design. So yeah, I thought this rant was going to be longer, but I actually said everything that I wanted to say on it in 2 minutes. So, yeah. Gaiden map design. Go kill yourself. And I want to close this little rant off with one last thing, and that is the Amiibos. So, as I was watching this guy play on stream, he was frequently summoning Amiibos. I have no idea how this works with an emulator. Does it just allow you to summon whatever amiibo you want? Because you can't really scan into an emulator unless you have some weird external software. So I think that the emulator just allows you to freely use amiibos. I think it just unlocks them for convenience. From what I saw, Amiibos are really strong. So if you don't know how Amiibos work, you scan your Amiibo into the 3DS and you can actually summon it in battle. And what you do is you summon a spectral version of the hero of the Amiibo you're holding. So if you have a Marth Amiibo, you scan that and you'll get a little message on screen saying, hey, do you want to spend some hit points to summon this hero? It costs about 8 to 10 hit points, I think it depending on your level maybe, and the strength of the amiibo hero summoned. And you summon a spectral image of this hero, and you can't control it. It fights on its own, just like the summoned soldiers, the spell you cast. And it lasts for a single turn. And it's really strong from what I saw. I mean, I didn't see it die a single time. And whenever something attacked it, it usually killed whatever was attacking it. And I even saw a boss go up against one of these amiibos, and the boss hardly dealt damage to it. I saw a Robin amiibo like tear through a general, and they looked really strong. And this guy was just seemingly able to summon amiibos every single turn if you wanted to. They cost a bit of hit points to summon, and you get the hit points drained from your main character, but I'm not sure if I like this whole... I mean, people were already really obsessed with amiibos to begin with. I personally have ordered both the Alm and Celica amiibo. I have no idea how that's gonna work. Can I summon Alm and Celica with Alm and Celica? I don't know. But it's kind of cool to see, regardless. Though I'm not a big fan of the whole spend money to buy power thing, especially when they're as strong as they are. Who knows, maybe they'll get scaled down, I don't know. But so far, they look to really be breaking the game, and not sure if I like that, but we'll see. I'll remain neutral on this position. Okay, so I think it's time to finish off this video with some closing thoughts. So, yeah, despite my rants, I am still very hyped for this game. I think I may sound more negative than I actually am. I just like criticizing things. That's just how I am. But I am very hyped for this game. There are things that I don't like about it so far, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it's not gonna be a good game. Nor am I saying that just because I don't like something that's, like, improper. The way I want a Fire Emblem game to be is not how everyone would like a Fire Emblem game to be. I'm a very old school person with very old school preferences, and I'm not expecting everyone to enjoy Fire Emblem my way. Some people will probably love the big open maps of Gaiden and the map design. I think I'm going to hate it, but that doesn't mean I won't enjoy the game, because the game looks and feels amazing. It really feels like a game for grown-ups. Fates and Awakening had a very childish theme to them. They felt like they were aimed at 11 to 13-year-olds, whereas this game feels like it's aimed at 17 to 20-year-olds, maybe plus, you know. It feels like a much more adult game to me, and I think that's what they're going for. I think they're trying something new, and kudos to them for trying out something new and not just going with whatever works. It's so brave of them to not just create another Fire Emblem game that's like Fates and Awakening with tons of fan service and waifus and children. And yeah, I would like to say that so far, I mean, we pretty much gotten it confirmed. No avatar, no children, no fucking time travel bullshit aside from the Mila Scare mechanic, which I didn't see used during the live stream, so I can't really talk about it. Yeah, we've gotten our wish, everyone. I mean, this is what we wanted. We wanted an old school Fire Emblem game that took some elements from the older and new Fire Emblem games and put it together. No pair-ups. Archers are good. I mean, there's so many good things about this game. I don't even know where to begin. Like, even though there are some bad things too, I feel like the good things just overshadow the bad ones, in my opinion, and I'm willing to forgive them for boring grinding and crappy map design, for taking the risks and actually doing these things and neglecting so many of the things that I think a lot of the casual fan base have gotten very accustomed to at this point. A lot of people came in with Awakening. I know that a lot of people went back to the old school games after playing Awakening, and they've kind of gotten maybe a little bit more grizzled, maybe a little bit hardened over the years. You know, we used to coin the phrase Awakening Baby in the Fire Emblem community for people who just played Fire Emblem Awakening. And I think a lot of those players have probably gone back and tried some of the older games by now, and they've kind of turned into bitter old veterans like the rest of us. And maybe they are actually more excited about Echoes than I think they will be. And I sure hope that's the case. I hope the Fire Emblem community is ready for Echoes, because it is every bit as old school as we thought it was going to be. It is as similar to Gaiden as we thought it was going to be. Everything we predicted about Echoes is turning out to be true, and I am so hyped for this game. Holy fucking shit. And yeah, I felt like I needed to have this little face cam rant, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these, then please let me know in the comment section. do give this video a like, do give it a comment, share it with your friends. I want to build up my subscriber count for the eventual release of this game. I think it's going to be massive. I can't wait to make the Let's Play. I'm going to release a lot of character previews now with updated information. I can't wait to make them. I got so many scripts ready. Of course, in addition to regular spotlights, and I can't wait to start making spotlights about Echoes. Oh, it's gonna be great. There's gonna be so much excitement going forward. This next month is gonna be super exciting, and when the game comes out, there's nothing better for me, a Fire Emblem fan with a Fire Emblem-oriented YouTube channel, to have a new Fire Emblem game being released. I'm so glad that the franchise is still alive and well. Let's cross our fingers that Echoes does well, so that we get a fucking Fire Emblem 4 remake. Please! We need it. I mean, I swear to God. If you thought that Ghast's reaction video to a remake of Gaiden was insane, wait until they announce Fire Emblem 4 or Fire Emblem 6 and watch my reaction video to that. And I promise you guys, that's going to be something out of this world. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking for way too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant slash facecam video. And yeah, maybe I'll make more in the future. We shall see. Until then, my name is Mangs. I love you all. Peace out.